Hello, I am Vijay Kumar Balshiva and I am going to give the introduction of P.B.Shelley. Shelley belongs to the romantic age of English literature. He was born on August 4, 1792. He was the son of Timothy Shelley, a wealthy landowner, and he was a member of parliament and highly respectable person in the area. Shelley at first educated at a private school where he alarmed his schoolfellows by his dangerous experiments with gunpowder, and which became a perfect hair. Means he was given the name a perfect hair. Uh, and then he was sent to Eton in 1804, and there he earned the nickname Mad Shelley because of his such kind of experiences and experiments and such kind of activities. He was given the name Mad Shelley. In 1810, he went to Oxford with full of revolutionary and atheistic zeal. And in Oxford, his only friend was Thomas Hope. In religious matters, both Shelley and Hope were skeptics, and this religious skepticism led them to publish a pamphlet entitled The Necessity of Atheism, and that was published in 1811, where Shelley and Hope sent round to all sorts of people as an invitation to discussion. And the result of this adventure was that both Shelley and Hope were expelled from the university, and Shelley was not able to get his proper degree from the university. In 1811, at the age of 19, Shelley married Harriet Westbrook, a pretty 16-year-old girl, and during this period, he published Queen Maud in 1813, and that was his earliest attempt to produce a major work of literature. Shelley had by this time openly broken not only with the dogmas and conventions of Christian religion, but with many of the institutions of Christianity. He was even opposed to the institution of marriage. He held that marriage ought to be simply a voluntary relationship between a man and a woman, capable of being terminated at the wish of either party. In 1812, Shelley had felt greatly attracted by the ideas of William Godwin. In May 1814, Shelley first met Mary Wollstonecraft Godwin. She was 16-year-old who was Godwin's daughter by his first marriage. Shelley's marriage with Harriet had turned out badly by this time. In 1814, Harriet had left her husband. When Shelley met Mary, she was 16. He instantly fell in love with her, and she with him. In July 1814, Shelley and Mary eloped to Switzerland. Shelley, Mary, and Claire Claremont. She was the daughter of Godwin by his second marriage, who had accompanied the two lovers to Switzerland. They returned to London in 1814. In May 1816, Shelley and Mary again left England to Switzerland together with Claire Claremont. The poet Byron joined them in Switzerland, and a love affair had started between Byron and Claire Claremont earlier in London, and the two of them now began to meet each other almost daily. In 1817, Claire Claremont gave birth to daughter by Byron. In September 1816, Shelley, Mary, and Claire Claremont returned to London. Harriet Shelley drowned herself in 1816. The death of Harriet removed the only obstacle in the way of Shelley's marriage with Mary Godwin. Accordingly, they got married in December 1816 and settled down in Buckinghamshire. Their tranquility was soon disturbed by a lawsuit set in motion by the dead Harriet's father, Mr. Westbrook, who asks for and finally attained in March 1817 the custody of his grandchildren on the ground that Shelley had deserted his wife and that he now intended to bring up his children in his own atheistic and antisocial opinions. In March 1818, after a dangerous illness, Shelley, with his wife Mary, their two infants, William and Clara, and Claire Clement, and her daughter Allegra, went off to Italy, and finally they settled in Italy. After wandering over Italy, uh, he settled in Pisa, and that was the beloved of many English poets. He still remained hostile to English social institution. In Pisa, he formed an intimacy with Amelia Viviani and fell passionately in love with her. This experience resulting in the transcendental love poem Epipsychidion, and that was published in 1821. On 8 July 1822, Shelley and his friend Edward Williams set sail across the Gulf of Spezzia. In a gathering storm, their bodies were washed ashore. Shelley's corpse, means his body, could only be recognized by the clothes he was wearing, and the books, volumes of Sophocles and Keats that he had stuffed into his coat pockets. He was, at the date of his untimely death, within a month of completing the 20th years of his age. So we can say that he was not satisfied with the existing orders, the existing dogmas in Christianity and in England.